The debate over affirmative action returned to the Supreme Court today, this time in the form of a challenge to a Michigan law that would ban its use at public universities.
So, is affirmative action racist against white people?
No, there was a systematic racism that remains today in this country, and if we want to catch up after decades.
What is affirmative action? Affirmative action is defined by the National Conference of State Legislators as policies in which an institution engages in efforts to improve opportunities for historically excluded groups in American society. In the terms of college admissions, affirmative action was created to diversify college campuses and give opportunities to underrepresented minorities. The program was first implemented as an executive order by President John F. Kennedy in 1961. It mainly applied to equal opportunity in the workplace, but soon the law was also applied to the college admissions process. Yet, merely 17 years later, clear problems in the system came up, as shown in the case of the Regents of the University of California versus Bakke. In this case, Alan Bakke, a white prospective student, charged the medical school at the University of California, Davis of denying him admission to the school twice because of a racial bias. The court ruled in Bakke's favor, saying that
this experience demonstrates that the Davis program, one that arbitrarily forecloses all competition solely on the basis of race or ethnic origin, is not necessary to attain reasonable educational diversity.
This ruling was met with the protests of many pro-affirmative action groups who felt that it damaged the system that they so strongly supported. The debate over affirmative action clearly has many sides, each expressing loudly, unwavering, and vastly different opinions. Recently, affirmative action programs in colleges across America have come under fire. Allegedly, they discriminate against non-minority students who feel that they are judged at a much higher standard than their minority peers. For example, at Princeton, African Americans gain an advantage of 230-point lower admission range on the SAT, while Asian Americans have a disadvantage of 50 points higher.
If affirmative action is designed to bring equity into the schools, in reality, it's causing issues. But if indeed it's true that qualified Asians, Indians aren't getting in order to balance racial diversity, we have an issue.
In response to these complaints, Proposition 209 was passed in California, 18 years after the Alan Bakke case. This law banned colleges from discriminating on the basis of race, sex, or ethnicity. After Prop 209 was in effect, freshman enrollment to UCLA dropped 50% for Black freshmen and 25% for Hispanic freshmen. Although the number of minority students declined, the total number of Black and Hispanic students who got bachelor's degrees were the same for the 5 classes after Prop 209 as for the 5 classes before. This situation can be attributed to mismatch. This concept explains that even though African Americans are more likely to enter college, they will usually rank toward the bottom of the class and far more often drop out.
I think the most common answer folks would give to is why to oppose affirmative action policies, because it's, quote, not fair.
Affirmative action programs have good intentions. However, they also have serious problems and have been incredibly controversial. Affirmative action programs intend to level the playing field between students of different backgrounds, but it serves merely as a band-aid on a larger issue involving other factors in the education system. These inequity issues, such as socioeconomic background and geographic location, should be taken into greater account in order to give all students an equal opportunity. In choosing the future leaders of America, colleges have the responsibility to take a student's whole story into account, and while race may inevitably be a factor in many admissions, it cannot be weighted more heavily than other factors.